In a shocking move, Elon Musk has announced the creation of a new party, the America Party. But why did he announce this party? What does he plan to do with this party? And how will this party affect contemporary US politics? We'll get to all of that later in the video, but let's start with the big question of why did Elon Musk create a new party? Well, this all came after he got mad at Trump because Trump's big, beautiful bill killed EV credits. For those who don't know, if you buy an EV electric vehicle, including a Tesla, Elon Musk's vehicle company, the federal government will give you money. Because of that money, there's an incentive to buy EVs. And because that money is being taken away, less people will buy EVs, meaning that Elon Musk will lose money because of Donald Trump. That angered Elon, and Elon decided to leave the Trump administration. Additionally, Trump's big, beautiful bill would add to the deficit by a considerable amount. Elon Musk has deemed that as the main cause, but most assume that it's because Trump is directly attacking his EV credits, which caused Elon to be extremely upset and completely disassociate with Trump. But now let's talk about what the American Party plans on doing. The rabbit hole on Twitter posted, debt has consistently risen regardless of which party is in power, with this graph showing that the debt is just constantly going up. And Elon Musk quote tweeted that saying, the America Party is needed to fight the Republican slash Democrat Uniparty. What he means by this is no matter what happens, the debt will rise because the Republicans and Democrats both together rise the debts. So his plan is to have a whole separate party which fights those two parties and lowers the debt. Additionally, Tyler Palmer on Twitter posted, is this the American Party platform? Reduce debt, responsible spending only, modernize military with AI/robotics, pro tech accelerate to win in AI, less regulations across the board, but especially in energy, free speech, pro natalist, and centrist parties everywhere else. Elon Musk replied to that saying yes, and he actually retweeted this post. Now, if you haven't realized, most of these parties seem to be in line with what the Republican Party, or at least some Republicans, believe. And obviously, most people who back Elon backed Trump in the 2024 election because Elon backed Trump by a lot, in fact, donating $288 million to Trump, meaning that this move will hurt the Republican Party more than it hurts the Democratic Party. In fact, it probably won't hurt the Democratic Party at all, and almost all of these Elon votes are coming from Republican votes. Additionally, pay attention to that figure, $288 million. What does that mean? It means Elon Musk is willing to spend so much money on politics, meaning that his American Party candidates, which he might like way more than Trump because they're his candidates, he's going to give them a lot of money, meaning that they're going to do pretty well in their elections. I don't think they can win. The American system is not designed for third parties, but they can at least take a big share of votes away from Republicans. But let's talk about his political strategy now. Elon Musk, in his post to ask if they should create the American Party, he talked about the strategy, a potential strategy, saying one way to execute this would be to laser focus on just 2 or 3 Senate seats and 8 to 10 House districts. Because of that, they can put all their energy in a couple races and hopefully win. They won't win, and this is actually really bad for Republicans because all of the votes are going to be stolen from a few races, meaning they lose a lot of votes. But let's talk about which races they can probably focus on. It's probably going to be the close races, right? Because if it's a deep red state, the Republicans would have 60% of the vote, so it's very hard to beat that. Or if it's a blue state, Democrats would have 60% of the vote. Versus in a swing state, maybe both parties have 49% of the vote, so it's easier to beat those two. For those who haven't seen my Senate video, Republicans are basically guaranteed to win the Senate. What I did with this map is I filled in every state that Kamala won as blue, saying that Democrats are going to do great and keep all the states that Kamala won, and every state that Trump won by at least 10 in 2024 red. So all these gray states are states that Trump won by less than 10. But notice, Republicans already have the Senate. And I think those 3 Senate seats that the American Party are gonna go for are the 3 swing states: Michigan, North Carolina, and Georgia. Michigan and North Carolina don't have an incumbent, so those seem like 2 great seats to go for. And if they go for those seats, the Republican candidates are basically guaranteed to lose because you're gonna have hundreds of millions of dollars dedicated to a right-wing platform, which is going to take votes away from them. So that means Democrats are probably going to win all 3 of these states if Elon and Trump don't get back together, which would leave us with a 51-49 Senate, which is honestly what I expect. I don't think the American Party is going to affect the Senate so much. But what it will affect is the House of Representatives because the margin is so tight right now. Republicans right now have 220 seats while Democrats have 215. And the problem with the House is Republicans barely won it because you need 218 seats for a majority. They won this seat Iowa's first by 0.19. They won Colorado's eighth by 0.73. They won Pennsylvania's seventh by 1.0. If you take off those seats, they lose. In addition, you have Pennsylvania's eighth and you have Pennsylvania's 10, which they won by 1.3 and 1.2. Those would be great states to target, districts to target for congressional campaigns of the 8 to 10 congressional campaigns by the American Party. And if they do, again, I don't see Republican candidates winning. So what happens when you flip Colorado's 8th, Iowa's 1st, Pennsylvania's 7th, 8th, and 10th? Republicans lose the House. It's that simple because you have hundreds of millions of dollars taking away right wing votes. And with that, Republicans are basically done in the House, giving Democrats the House of Representatives and Republicans the Senate. If this doesn't sound familiar, it's exactly what happened in 2018. But the difference now is Trump is going to have a 1 seat majority in the Senate instead of a 3 seat majority. So if that happens after 2026, Trump will basically have nothing left to do and he will basically be a lame duck president for the next 2 years. So if you're a Republican, you better hope that either A, Trump gets a lot done in these next 2 years. And with the big, beautiful bill, he's already done a lot, but hope he does much more. Or you can hope that Elon Musk and Trump resolve their differences. Maybe Elon comes back with the administration and this whole American Party plan dies. And let's be real, third parties in the US almost never stand a shot. So this problem might really be bad for Republicans in 26, but it won't be a problem for them in 28 or 2030. It's going to be a one-time thing. But let's hope it's not a one-time thing. Let's hope it's a zero-time thing. Anyways, that was American Patriot Elections. I hope you learned something and see ya.